Mark Colburn with you with another short video. I was asked by a guy at work to do a snow shelter in case of emergencies, whether it be stranded on the roadside or whatever. I just taken a shovel just for demonstration purposes here. If you keep a shovel in your car, that's cool. Or you could use whatever you got, from your hands to your feet to anything, stick, anything to help you dig that snow out. I went ahead and dug out approximately 6 to 7 foot area here. And you just want big enough area to put you in. You don't want to overdo it with your size, because that's more area that's got to be heated up. The thing is, you want to stay warm inside. So if you make it bigger, you're going to have a bigger area to keep warm. So I dug that out. I'm going to grab the tarp and I'm going to show you how to put it in. Now some people use keep a tarp in their car. If you ain't got a tarp in your car, you could use branches from a nearby tree, pine branches, from a pine tree works best to cover yourself up and to keep the snow and the wind off of you. I had went ahead with the shovel and I dug notches out down into the snow here. Down in the snow. So I'm going to tuck this tarp down in here, and then I'm going to backfill it with the snow. And that pressure of the snow against the tarp will lock it in there, so that way it will not blow away. So I'll go ahead and put you back here, and I will demonstrate on what I'm doing. I hope you can see me there. I'm going to use the silver side down, of course. That's to keep the heat in. Take my shovel or my hands or whatever you've got and backfill it. Let me turn the camera just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing better. There you go. That's a little bit better. Now take it, once you stick it down in there, and backfill that tarp up with snow. And do that all the way around it. Take your snow and backfill it. Now you want to cover it up because you want to get it nice and heavy, so that way when the wind does pick up, it will not blow your tarp away. All right. Okay. Now what I've got here. See what I got? Now if you had a big enough drift, you could just shovel straight into the drift. You don't have to have the tarp or any kind of limbs or anything to cover. Because you want to keep as much wind and everything out as possible, right? So that way you stay warm. So I'm going to take you off this tripod and take you inside here and show you what I've got so far. All right. All right. Now you can see here how much room I've got at the end. I'm hoping you can. My feet are just barely sticking out, but I can move forward more. There you go. Whoops. Sorry about that. I just dropped you in the snow. All right. Now I dug it all out, but I could leave like a little slant here for my back, or I could lay at the other end with my head at that end, in case we have a bunch of snow like it's snowing now, and this was to get a bunch of snow and it claps down on you. It'd be like being in a body bag, really. So you actually want to keep your head down towards the other end, just in case you did have a snow cave in. And of course, once you get in here, you want to take your hands and you want to pack all the snow up in here, so that way it stays nice and firm, and it's less chance of falling in. But now, like if you're in a car or something and you were in a wreck and stranded out in the country, instead of laying straight on the ground, you could take your car mats and lay on the ground, and then lay on top of your car mats, and that will help keep your body temperature in. I've got a mat that I always keep in my car. I keep a winter bag in the back of my trunk, and it contains a tarp, and it contains a roll for conduction. That way I don't lose my heat through the ground. And I've got sand, and I have a small shovel, which is better using the big shovel versus the little shovel. It's just for demonstrations. But I'm going to go and get my my roll out, so that way I could be laying on that instead of laying in the snow. And I also carry a candle, and I'll show you that when I get back. And that candle is what will keep this nice and warm in here. You don't need a whole lot of heat because your snow acts like insulation, like an igloo would. It don't take much fire to heat it up. And if I do have too much wind coming through the end, I could take snow and pile it up on that and make that hole smaller, so less air flow could get in here. But I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll go get that stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with you. I went and got my my roll, my bed roll, and I usually carry a blanket, but I'm not bringing the blanket out here. It's just for demonstration purposes, and I don't want to get wet, so I went and got this here. But I did want to show you this, and this is a very little important thing here. Especially it's just good for lighting, if not for heat during the winter. But I've got an old candle, and I've taken a tomato can and I have cut it open and turned it upside down, cut a hole in it like you see there, turn it upside down so that way that candle is now becomes like a radiator in here. It's hot to the touch. Yeah, it is. And this is what will keep us warm in here. It's not going to keep us real hot, but it will keep you warm enough to survive in an emergency. And just for winter camping alone, this is a good idea for a tent instead of a tent or a hammock or whatever or a tarp. You could do this here. Now all it is digging under a tree that's got a big snowdrift under. Whatever the case may be, it's a pretty neat little idea. And you could also do the same thing in sand, dirt. You could, during the summer, if you dug yourself a nice pit and covered it with spruces or whatever, branches, tarp, whatever you want to use. Actually, the ground to help keep you cool. It'll be cooler under the ground than it will out up on top. It's a pretty nifty little idea. Like I say, you could do it if you're in a desert area. You could do the same thing. Dig yourself a trench out, cover it with whatever debris or whatever you've got, and make yourself a little shelter out of it. This here is working great. I don't feel no wind whatsoever. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I got the silver part down so that way it helps to reflect my heat then. And if I wanted to, I could build this here up a little more down here on the end by my feet. I did put one big piece of snow in there, but I could put more snow in there and build that up and shut that off more if I wanted to. Or I could just simply dig this out a little bit more and drop that tarp down to shut more of that air off. Okay, I don't have much more to say on it, but it's a nifty little idea. And if you ever want to try it, well, you see it here. You know how to do it. Yeah. All right. But I'm Mark Coburn, and I want to thank you for watching my video. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas. I want to remind everybody I'm having a spring rendezvous, April 25th, 26th, and 27th. You're welcome. Give me a text or get a hold of me, a message, and we'll see if we can't get you set up for that weekend. But I want to thank you. Peace. Okay, I've been laying in here for about 20 minutes, and I want to show you something here. This is how warm it's getting, and I don't know if you can see this. I'm hoping you can, but the drips on the tarp. It's snowing outside, so there's snow laying on top of the tarp. And this is an old beat-up tarp that I use in my car just for emergencies. And it does leak because it's beat up. But I hope you could see those water drops on that tarp. The reason I want you to see that is because it's just a small candle, but with this can over it, it acts like a little heater. And if I needed to, I could even close up one side of this here and make more heat inside. But I'm plenty warm, and as you can see, between my body heat and the candle, it's warm enough in here to heat the snow on top of the tarp to make it leak through. So it's pretty, even though you can see my smoke or my air, it's really pretty warm in here. I could see it being quite comfortable, and I think I might do a video on that and do an overnighter. And if we did do that, we could put the fire right outside here and put a wind block up to help with the wind. And you ain't got to put a wind block up. You could use the shovel and pile a big pile of snow, and that snow will be your act like your wood for your wind block. So there's all kinds of scenarios, but maybe I'll do another video on that and have an overnight camp out on it before the winter's over. But I just wanted to get this small video out here, and I just wanted to show you that. So I want to thank you from the Best of Both Worlds 3. Peace.